In this video, we're going to have a look at a piece of software called Forex Tester 2. Now, why you might think of a flight simulator as something that helps train pilots, Forex Tester 2 is a piece of software that helps train traders. It's a simulator, it's a trading simulator. It allows you to approach the market without knowing what sort of price action you're going to find ahead of yourself, so you're avoiding sort of any biases, but it allows you to record your trades, to measure your risk, and to test out any strategies and build your confidence. So it is very similar to MT4 in the look and feel, but it works quite differently. So I'm going to do a short demo just on how it works, just a very sort of quick overview and highlight a couple of the features. So I've got two pairs listed here. I've got the euro dollar and the pound dollar. You can test pretty much all of the majors and most of the crosses. I haven't got them all loaded here. I'm just going to test the pound dollar for this demonstration, but you can also have a look at sort of the pair, and you can change things, right? So you can add spreads, you can change the swap, you can look at all sorts of things, so you can really simulate your sort of trading results. So I'm going to switch to testing mode here. And what you can see now is obviously we've got all these different options here, right? And I've got a simple candlestick chart, and you can switch between them if you prefer a line chart or some sort of bar chart. And there we go, right? So I've got the daily chart up here, the pound dollar daily chart. Now you can obviously also add indicators, so all the indicators that you are familiar with, through your whatever forex or trading platform that you're using, or however you like to approach the markets. If you're a fan of indicators, you can add them. So let's have a look at some popular ones. We can add the stochastic. 633 is fine. Let's add it on there. So now we've got the stochastic along with price, and we can add things directly on the chart too. So let's have a look at a moving average. Here is a 40 period exponential moving average, and it's going to print on the chart. So there we go. We've got our candles, we've got indicators, we've got whatever we like, and we can start to add support and resistance, things like that on the chart. We can zoom out. We can see a sort of a bigger picture. We can also change time frame. So I've got this on a daily time frame. We can trade it on a 5-minute chart if we want. We can trade it wherever we want. And what I can do, of course, is I can start some sort of simulation. So let's begin the test. And let's say we're going to start. We can see we've got here from 2001. Let's start trading from sort of midway, or let's move a little further to a little bit more recent, sometime in sort of 2011. And we can preload days, or we can start testing on a blank chart. I think a blank chart is going to be a little bit easier and quicker. So I've got the simulation paused. If I untick that box, you can see that basically every single day's bar is printing, and this is real price action. If you were to bring up MT4, whatever charting package you use, you will see that these bars correlate with exactly what you will see on your trade. So it's not not sort of simulated price moves. There's a real price moves, real historical price moves, and you can see your indicator is sort of painting as it goes. So let's pause that for a second. And let's have a look at the trading functionality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these indicators. I just want to keep things a little bit more sort of simple. In fact, I'm going to delete all of them. Let's get rid of the moving average. And we're going to look at what happens when I take a simulated trade. Now, I've got and you can change it, but I've got a default dummy account of $10,000. It doesn't really matter because, again, it's a simulated environment and we can get trading. So let's say I see this huge big bullish candle and I want to take a buy stop. I can manage my risk, but we're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it at a single lot. I can place a buy order there above the high. I can put a stop loss potentially below this swing low. Let's see what I've got at risk there. So I've got 271 pips at risk. So maybe I want to target some sort of high up here for my take profit, or maybe I want to go for some sort of fixed amount. Doesn't matter. Let's just see how we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to tab the chart forward with the spacebar, and that's going to advance the chart by one candle at a time. If the price triggers, I will show you, or at least if our order triggers in price, I will show you how that trade looks. So let's keep going. All right, it triggered on the very next candle. So if I bring up the sort of terminal window here, you can see what's happened. We're in a buy trade, okay, and it simulated the exact price on the 19th of March 2012. This is the price that we're in. There's our stop loss, there's our take profit. It tells you what we're in right now. We're in about, what is that, about 15 pips up, okay, and that's $150. So let's see what happens. Let's keep going. All right, slight drawdown, price is hovering around. Okay, keep in mind we didn't follow any sort of strategy here. We're just looking at how the software works. All right, let's keep going. Are we going to hit our profit target? There we go. Okay, so we've hit our profit target, and you can see our demo account, our test account has reflected it. So let's Let's keep going. We don't have any particular sort of strategy here. I'm going to see if we can get a nice bearish trade. All I'm going to look for is some sort of bearish engulfing candle. All right. Let's see what we can get. Okay, that looks good, right? That's a nice bearish engulfing candle. I'm not going to follow or look for anything else there. I'm just going to say we're going to go off that. So the last trade that we took was a pending order, pending below or above the high. What we're going to do in this trade is we're going to get in at market. So we're going to use that sort of icon over there, and we're going to get in at market. We put our stop loss above this sort of swing high, and we're going to sell. So in this instance, there we go, we're in at market. Let's see what happens. Okay, so price is moving our way. It's gone quite far. Let's move the stop to break even. Okay, let's see if we can sort of trail this one down. All right, so I'm just showing you a couple of different sort of strategies. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this order down, almost like a manual trailing stop. Let's see what we can get out of this. So every time we have a swing high, I'm going to move the stop loss further and further down, and I'm not going to use a profit target in this instance. All right, let's call that a swing high. It's a little bit ambitious. We may get stopped out there, but that's the point, right? Okay, there we go, and that's the end of our trade. So what we've done is we've simulated a couple of trades. We have no idea what the future price action is, and we can have a look at our account history here, and we can see what's going on. Okay, obviously we've had two winners, just being what it's been. Let's take another one. In fact, here I think this would be a nice opportunity to take a buy trade. We've had this nice bullish engulfing candle. Let's go back to our pending order. Alright, so let's just change our lot. Again, I'm not actually measuring risk. If you were testing this properly and it wasn't some sort of demo, you would want to measure risk. So we've got a 286 pip stop. Let's go for a 500 pip target, so slightly less than 2 to 1. Let's see, right, we're triggered. We're in. What's going to happen? Okay, quite a drawdown. I think we're going to get stopped. Yep, there we go. So you can see what we're doing here is we're recording the history of these trades. If I bring up the account history there, so we've had two wins, we've had a loss, and you can start seeing or at least testing your strategy. So if you're using some sort of indicator, some sort of support and resistance, perhaps you've got resistance up here, so we shouldn't have been buying here. We're right up against resistance. Maybe that's what that was telling you. Whatever the case, you've got all of these different points and all of these different indicators and ways of testing your strategy and building your own confidence in the market and figuring out strategies that work for you, and also putting strategies that I may offer to the test. That's the point here, is that you've got to get comfortable with them. So I hope this video helps. It's just a short overview of what the software does. You can obviously export this data to an Excel file, which is quite nice. You can then do a lot of analysis on it. You can compare multiple pairs at the same time. You can switch between time frames, and the whole idea is that it's rapid testing. You can go through years and years worth of data in a couple of hours, and you don't have a bias because you don't know what's coming next. Alright, try to avoid looking at the date. If you've been trading for a while, you may know that, well, in late 2012 we were in a big downtrend, so try not to look at the date. I try to avoid it, unless I'm specifically trading news events, but I use this tool to cover a lot of ground very quickly to build my confidence without risking any real money. So if you have any questions on this, please do let me know. I hope this video does